I'm Insomniac.
And I'm Pops.
This is Shooting the Shit.
a.k.a. Chatting with Pops.
Alright, this is episode 62, I think, of Shooting the Shit.
We never know.
I don't know, fucking some episode. I have no idea. All I know is I just got coffee on my shorts. Okay, that lost you. Alright, so today we got two topics. They're from two different people.
Let's see if we get to them, but I think we may.
What do you mean if we get to them? That's the point of us sitting here doing this episode right now. We're getting to them.
Yeah, well, let's see how long we are. Probably we will.
I don't really care for either one of them, so my answers would be very short.
Well, alright, so we're going to get to them.
So, first one is if you could trade places with any famous person in history, who would it be and why? And how would you live that life differently from the way they did? And that's from Jeff Madre. And the other one is if you could go back and give your teenage self any advice, would you, and what would it be? That's from Doug M.
This first one, immediately, when I heard this, three people popped in my mind. Weirdly enough, Frank Sinatra popped in my mind first. Then, Keith Moon and John Bonham, or John Bonham and Keith Moon. Three music people popped up in my mind. Now, if I have to pick out of one of these three, I'm going to go with, well, I guess I have to pick one, huh?
I don't know.
Well, it's hard, because the Who and Led Zeppelin, they're almost equally as famous. Probably Zepp was a little more famous, right?
And they were better.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're a Who fan.
Well, I love them both. I love Frank Sinatra too. But I'm going to go with John Bonham. If I could go back, and I lived John Bonham's life, I would totally do it differently. And the first fucking thing that I would do differently is I fucking wouldn't be a drunk and choke on my vomit and die when you were such a mega fucking star. People were worshiping your ass. So sadly enough, now, it's a disease. I mean, I understand this better than anyone. But right there, I would absolutely, positively not be involved in drugs or alcohol.
Go back to episode 1 if you want to hear our views on whether or not alcoholism's a disease.
Right. Well, I would absolutely not be involved with alcohol or drugs. I would live that life that he lived to the absolute umpteenth fullest, and by the grace of God, if it was God's grace, how to live that out and be an old man, he'd still be around playing with those guys because the other three are around. That was a fucking waste of life and a mess and a shame. I would go back and, I would ride that wave. Led Zeppelin, huh? What a shame. And so John went out by choking on his own vomit because he was drunk as a bastard, went to bed, and that happens to a lot of guys, choke on the vomit. I know someone locally, a friend, who was a musician, and did the same thing. Pretty much choked on his vomit and died in his sleep. That's a damn shame. So I would go back, I would ride his wave. John Bonham. And in fact, that story I told about the priest and going to see the priest after school, it was John Bonham that I said I wanted to be like. So, yeah, there it is. That was easy for me, technically, although those three people popped up. And I could talk just as much or more on either one of the other two I mentioned. But so that's it right there. So we're definitely getting to the second topic.
I gave this some thought, not much, but some, and I came up with nobody because...
Nobody?
No.
Wow.
All these famous people's lives were too hectic, too insane, too ridiculous. I don't think I'd want to do any of those. And then, everything's always the same story. It's like, you're sad that somebody died, so that's the part you'd do differently. Whatever. Mom had actually a good one, but it's not mine. I'll have to give credit to Mom. She said that she'd live life as Michael Jackson and kill his dad.
Yeah.
Now I'd wait till I got to the superstardom and then I'd kill him. He should have definitely killed his dad though. That scumbag.
Yeah, Joe was a scumbag, but
but then at the same time I feel like I don't know. It's like maybe he could also attribute his success to that scumbag. How hard he pushed him. Anyway. That's why I didn't get into that one. That one's too tough. He didn't say dead or alive in there. He said from history, but I don't exactly know what he means.
I went with dead, so I thought
because
dead.
If I had to just throw out a crazy one, I'd live Donald Trump's life. Seriously, who's taking a more wild ride than that?
Man.
This guy went from who the hell knows what, every business venture in the whole world, one of the most successful people ever lived, and then became president of the United States without the help of politics. I'm going with Trump. That's who I'd live as. Man, that's gotta be awesome. Well, stressful, but awesome.
The history thing made me think dead, so I didn't go on that side.
Well, he didn't specify, and I guess dead, but I don't want to live any dead person's life. They're dead. Screw it. Let's be Donald Trump.
Moving on to the next question.
Yeah, sure.
Which was, I believe I'm going to say this roughly right. What would you tell yourself if you go back to when you were in your teens or your younger days? You know, I guess it said your teens was mentioned. And I'm also assuming in this question that I'd have the knowledge I have now, more or less, and go back to when I was in my teens.
I'm going to second that. He didn't specify that, but otherwise, what the hell would the point be? So.
Which makes the question really cool for me because I had a really, in my opinion, and it's not just a fucking opinion, it was a clinical opinion too, Dr. S. I had a really rough life, really pretty dark a lot of the time. And so, if I can go back, first thing I would tell myself is, you know what, it's going to be all right. You know, Mom had said this today, and I went, exactly, yeah, it's going to be all right. It's all going to work out. But aside from that, by the grace of God, thank you, Lord, I would have told myself that there was help. There's places to go. Like when I brought up the program in the suicide episode, Alateen, which there ain't many of those, that's out there for the kind of life I grew up with. I would love to have had that. And definitely that there was help, and I would love to tell myself there's help, get help. And again, that first part is most important. It's going to be all right, you know, because the depression and anxiety that I suffered with and other things from it physically and stuff were just horrible. And I'm talking about my teen years. So yeah, that would, I don't have a lot to say on this, but that would be it. That would be the first thing, repeating it again. Everything's going to be all right, and it is. It's not so bad, it's going to be all right, you know, and then get help. So that's about all I can really say on that. I mean, I don't really know what else I would tell myself because it was a rough time for me. So there you go. That's that for that.
Well, I guess I was thinking about it, and I'm really all about efficiency. So the two things I would tell myself if I could go back and tell my teenage self a couple things would actually have to do with just not wasting time. Because if I knew, you know, what was going to happen by the time I'm 30 years old, or what am I now, 30, 31? I don't even know.
Wow.
Something like that. One of those
31.
years. Whatever the case may be.
Pretty sure.
I would tell myself, A, don't waste your time emotionally with any women. You're going to meet Rosemary at this particular date. Just sleep with a bunch of people. Because I wasted, oh man, I wasted a lot of time there. Now I know, you know, who my woman is, and that's that. I don't know why I wasted time with the rest of them, but you don't know that. And then the other one, this is going to sound kind of shocking. But, and I almost am sad to say this, but I think I would tell myself, other than, you know, enjoying it by myself, to really not put my heart into music. That was a waste of over a decade, in my opinion. Wow. And I would have started. I think so.
That's
not playing.
Shame.
Like I would never tell myself not to play music.
Never a waste of my
Or even join some bands. Yeah, but not to the extent that I did it. I did some of the traveling. I did unbelievable amount of actual work and promotion. And I would have. I guess if I were to tighten that up, what I'd say is write the songs, play in the bands. Don't take it seriously. I guess that's a better way to do it. Because
okay.
I wouldn't want to delete the experiences of playing on stages.
Yeah, you know.
But I put so much of my heart and energy and effort into it that it was actually usually more frustrating and upsetting than it was enjoyable, except for while I was on stage. So I would tell myself, don't take it seriously. That route's not going to work. And I would have told I guess in the same vein, I would have told myself, start YouTube earlier, because somehow that's going to become probably your career. That's weird, and I wish I would have had a head start on it, because I would have, you know, with the cigar side especially, I would have got a jump on Captain What's-His-Face from Cigar Obsession, and if I would have been the first channel on there, it would have been a different story, which is cool, but it's alright, you know, it's working out. So yeah, I guess just not to waste time, because otherwise I don't have, I could admit this, I think, I don't really have any great wisdom yet in my life that I think I could share with myself. I don't really have any answers yet that I think are mind-blowing, so I'm still figuring that stuff out. So if I could just maybe shorten some of the time I wasted, then I'd be further along at this point. I think that's down. I'd at least have
Well,
more money by now.
Flipping that back to me just for a moment, because you made me think of something. What he just said, the opposite. If I would have told myself something else, which he's triggering, I'd have been like the part before, ride that wave, because I promise you that I had the ability and the talent beyond whatever bands I played in, even the main one. I should have done what a lot of cats I know were doing, and could have and should have. And I would definitely probably said, hey.
Funny thing is, with the right networking, you actually could have.
Yeah.
Because that was a different industry.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, you
Not
know.
possible when I was
I
playing.
have to flip it back to me and say, Rob, focus here, man, because you're going to be one of the greatest of the greats, like the ones that are out there. And I could have been, and still have that talent, and I'm giving it back, and I'm grateful, and I'm not complaining, but I would flip that back to me and go, no waste, man. I'm glad I did that. I love that, still love it. Yeah, there's a lot of, he's right though. I remember the frustration. I took it very serious, the one band, and we actually came very close because it was a different time. You're right.
I took it very serious.
Yeah, to
with
being
about
signed,
10
so.
bands.
Signed in a big way, like the Smithereens, and so yeah, I know. But no, I would never give that up. So anyway, I just you triggered that. I wanted to throw that in. But
part of the reason why I would have loved to have told myself that is because I would have enjoyed all the shows I played so much more if it wasn't for the end game and the big goal of this is going to be my career. If I would have known this is a fucking joke, just enjoy myself, I would have played my ass off, had a good time, drank afterwards, and been like, this is cool. And when I don't feel like it anymore, I'll just start my YouTube stuff, or start at the same time. I would have had a blast if I knew that it wasn't
Well, there you got
work.
me. I did the same thing as
Man.
you. I stressed myself to death while the guys in my band were snorting dope and popping pills, the things I talked about before, and drinking, getting up, fucking up the whole set while I was trying to hold everything together. You got a point.
That was the same situation in my bands, which that's another episode, which I think somebody had requested a long time ago about the history of bands we've been in and whatever.
Right.
But the only person that ever took music seriously in all the bands I've been in was Matt Roush, who probably won't see this, but he was about the business. Always about the business.
Love
Everybody
Matt,
else I played with, I loved a lot of the guys I played with and had a musical connection with them, but none of them gave a shit.
Oh no,
It was always me pushing a whole band, and that was the story.
Little secret for the other guys you played with that really could have made it too. Jackasses, most of them. One of the first and foremost one, and you know who you are if you see this. You're the biggest jackass.
He'll never see it, but
Well,
biggest waste of talent I've ever made.
Really, what a waste, and waste again. It's almost as bad as someone who died. Like I said, I'll ride Jock Bottom's wave. What a moron. But and there's these guys out here.
He's not famous, or else I would have said I'd relive his life, take the talent that he's got, and be one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, what a jackass.
John Mayer, Part 7.
I'm telling you, a lot of, so now we're getting triggered somewhere else. But so that that's it. And then you triggered me. You got some great points. But hey, me, I had wasted way too much time because I had a lot of problems. I was sick. That's why I did that suicide episode, which God bless everyone, helped a lot of people, and I'm grateful for that. And I'd love to do a public service announcement often because I care about everyone that's out here, believe it or not. So
I don't remember what episode number that was. We should write that down. This way, now and then you can just
suicide
refer to it
one?
and tell people to go to episode.
Yeah,
blank.
great episode.
See episode number here. I don't remember what number it is. Anyway.
Hey, live your life. Period. Live it to the fullest. I'm still not doing that. I admit it. I'm trying slowly. God give me grace and time. And live it. Live it, live it, live it. And by the way, don't fuck with people. Leave things be. Leave things where they need to lie and live your life and stay focused.
I guess the reason why in my wrap up of why I didn't really care for these topics is the fact that I'm not one of these people that looks back at the past and does the what if stuff. It's over.
It is
Even
over.
the stuff that I've made shit tons of mistakes.
It's
But you know
true.
what? Am I going to do? Sit around all day and think about it? So I don't really care what I could tell my teenage self because I can't tell my teenage self shit. It's over.
Well,
I need to tell my new self something for tomorrow.
Right.
So I don't really care.
So today I have a new saying that I've learned in this program you all know I go to, and it goes like this. This is the crude version of it. If you have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future, you're pissing on today. There's one for you. Get it again. If you have 1 foot in the future, 1 foot in the past, either way you say it, you're pissing on today. So that's true. I don't believe in that either. But you guys are tossing topics. Hey, I'm going to say blah, blah, blah for you, but I don't sit around dwelling on that. Today, for me, even more than the future, today is the day and the time and the moment for me. And minding my business. But that's it, you know, live your life, man, enjoy it.
What the hell episode was this even? 62?
What'd you say, 62,
Maybe?
63?
I don't know what episode it was, but again, though, thank you for the topics. Those are a couple of new topics.
Yeah, new topics, that's great.
Yeah, so lots of topics there. Don't be discouraged, though, from leaving more topics. I don't care if we have 4,000 new topics. It gives us more to choose from, and we appreciate that. Of course, you can't leave topics if you're not a patron. So get to the link at the top of the video description. Sign up over there. It's literally $1.
Sign up.
Plus, you get to see these episodes 1 week early. You get to talk to us more directly. And you get all kinds of other cool rewards, including giveaways, which Patreon, by the way, said I'm not allowed to mention anymore. So I'll just mention it in all my videos instead. They said I'm promoting gambling by you making that a reward that people get to be entered into my giveaways.
Oh, wow. Where does it end?
Anyway, if you want to be entered into all my giveaways, even though you won't
Lord.
be able to read about it now on Patreon directly, you have to be a patron, so sign up over there. You know, and then call the Gambling Addicts number, because apparently I'm promoting
That's
that.
nuts. That's
You know.
what the fuck.
So, that was cool. See you at the next
That's it.
one.
Thanks a lot. We'll see you.